Hello, Mitch. How are you?
Hey, Artem. Good morning. How are you doing?
We're checking our sound. A moment, please.
Sure, I can hear you clearly on my end.
Can you check your microphone, please?
Are you talking to me, Artem?
Is my sound coming through, perhaps?
Nice, nice.
Can
Okay,
you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you, Mitch, yes, but I'm not
Okay,
sure they
perfect.
can.
Artem, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. That's
Yeah. So we are starting our hackathon, and now we have introduced speech from me and from my colleague Yaroslav, and then we can transfer word to you.
sounds good. Thank you.
Друзья, ну, мы уже пообщались немного, да, какое-то, наверное, понимание есть о том, что будет происходить и вообще что как. Я, наверное, скажу пару слов про формат, Ярослав потом меня дополнит. Для начала представлюсь, меня зовут Артём, я соорганизатор мероприятия. Собственно, мои друзья из компании Forward, те, кого я уже знаю пару лет, проекту, соответственно, уже тоже 3 года. Они являются международным Web3 стартапом, ну, уже как бы действующим проектом. В партнерах я вам советую зайти на их сайт, либо в перерыве, либо когда там сейчас будет какой-то момент свободный, посмотреть, кто у них партнеры. Если вам интересен мир Web3, блокчейна и чего-то такого связанного с современной разработкой именно в сфере распределенных приложений или распределенных технологий, это может стать очень хорошим таким входом, во-первых, как в тему, во-вторых, на международный рынок, потому что они, наверное, отличаются от других проектов тем, что у них очень широкая сеть партнеров. То есть помимо каких-то бирж, например, как KuCoin, да, одна из крупнейших криптовалютных бирж, заканчивая такими сообществами, как Кембриджское блокчейн-сообщество, Оксфордское блокчейн-сообщество. То есть у них очень много, широкая партнерская сеть, там, Криптополитен, если мы говорим про СМИ, да. Но я их перечислять не вижу смысла, их там более 50 уже. И это все крупные игроки в своем сегменте, в своем секторе. Что еще? Чекните их запрещенную совершенно в России социальную сеть X, которая бывшая Twitter. Если вы занимаетесь криптой, то знаете, что это Twitter, это основной канал, основной источник, да, получения информации, общения, коммуникации между участниками рынка. И посмотрите, какие там инфлюенсеры сидят. То есть на них подписаны, являются их амбассадорами, тоже очень такие знаковые, крутые ребята. Последний, кто у них зашел инвестором и партнером, это друг Дэвида Бекхэма. Не знаю, кто-то здесь в силу возраста помнит, кто такой Дэвид Бекхэм. Я помню. Вот. Очень такой известный чел, он именно инвестирует в топовые стартапы. Вот. Соответственно, проект предлагает идею, которая, наверное, является сейчас наиболее актуальной, то есть mass adoption. Это массовое принятие Web3 и блокчейна через NoCode-платформу, через NoCode разработку, когда вы можете, по сути, как на Тильде или на WordPress, да, ну, WordPress, наверное, не самый лучший пример, но это, например, Тильда, как в конструкторе просто из кубиков собрать какое-то приложение, которое будет решать конкретную бизнес-задачу. То есть здесь акцент даже не на разработке смарт-контрактов, а скорее на бизнес-логике. Да? То есть придумать какую-то идею, и мы сегодня про это поговорим, это будет вводной частью. То есть как сгенерировать какую-то идею, как проанализировать рынок и понять, а что вообще актуально, что востребовано и что мы будем делать. Это ключевой момент, потому что все остальное, как разработка, как UI-дизайн, это дополнение. То есть первое подумать, а что мы делаем и для кого. Понять целевую аудиторию, ее запрос и то, какое решение мы ей даем, сконструировать, создать какой-то образ и потом его уже написать в виде какой-то модели. Ну, про это говорю, подробно тоже будет рассказано. Это, наверное, такая креативная и творческая работа, и она самая интересная. И вообще в целом это дает понимание, как рынок IT-разработки, IT-продуктов и стартапов в целом, потому что я 4 года этим занимался, могу сказать, он работает. Да? То есть сгенерить валидную, работоспособную, востребованную идею. Здесь вот эту всю схему, всю модель вы пройдете по ходу хакатона. Соответственно, вот такая идея создать вот эти вот кубики, да, темплейты, которые мы будем говорить и про которые расскажет Мич, это создать темплейты, то бишь шаблоны, из которых потом можно собирать как конструктор какие-то готовые бизнес-решения. Но в целом вы можете создать уже какое-то просто цельное решение из отдельных кубиков и его тоже задеплоить. В чем интерес помимо призов, я про них сейчас дальше скажу подробно, это пожизненные роялти, которые вы будете получать. То есть все созданные вами сейчас на хакатоне и далее, если вы будете продолжать создавать какие-то шаблоны, темплейты для маркетплейса, будут выкладываться на внутренней площадке, на маркетплейсе этой компании, куда они заводят уже у них более 200 партнеров на мировом рынке, которые будут приобретать условно ваши созданные бизнес-решения как, ну, по сути, как продукт по подписке, да, как мы покупаем приложение в Web Store, например. И, соответственно, половина того, сколько заплатит заказчик, покупатель за ваше решение, получаете вы. Это все фиксировано на смарт-контракте. Это, по сути, дает вам уникальную возможность. Это как бы уникальная возможность, наверное, такое крамольное такое слово, не очень звучит, но это действительно так, что вы сейчас на старте можете, наполняя какими-то хорошими, действительно востребованными шаблонами, обеспечить себе заработок на там, всю последующую жизнь по факту. То есть если вы сейчас первыми заходите, а у нас сейчас именно этот момент, мы первые в России делаем хакатон для площадки Forward. Следующее — это Токио, Белград и Гонконг, где будут запускаться хакатоны как раз для компании. Но пилотную версию и вообще первую мы обкатываем у нас в университете ИТМО. И это, еще раз повторюсь, хорошая возможность зайти с отдельными решениями и получать с этого дальше доход. Вот. Это та часть, которая мне кажется наиболее интересной, но не менее интересна, наверное, по призовой фонд. Пару слов. Первое место получает команда, которая сделает шаблон, который пройдет экспертизу, ну и, соответственно, да, высокую оценку, $1000, второе место 700 и третье $500. Они будут выплачены в токенах проекта, но это делается там в 2 шага, свап на USDT и дальше. Там, ну, не буду это подробно говорить на камеру, сами знаете, что это и как происходит. Соответственно, да, и вообще, если вы не вошли в тройку призеров, но сделали работающий осмысленный шаблон, который ребята с компании заапрувят в конце, все команды, которые так сделают, получат $250 просто по факту создания шаблона. Это тоже такой бонус. Как это все будет происходить? У нас... Да, могу передать слово Ярославу, я прям люблю поговорить, поэтому... Да, спасибо за внимание, передаю слово Ярославу, в любом случае мы на связи.
Hi, Mitch. Окей, значит,
Hey,
ребят,
hi. How are you doing, Yaroslav?
да, в принципе, Артём уже почти что все проспойлерил. Вот, поскольку вы не читаете то, что мы пишем, расскажу немножко про то, что будет происходить. Значит, сегодня у нас открытие, дальше по нетворкам познакомимся, чуть покушаем. Дальше по вторникам будут происходить вебинары. Вот, вебинары будут примерно в таком же формате, но только онлайн. Вот, соответственно, там вас всему научат, всему, что нужно, на вопросы будут отвечать, поэтому не стесняйтесь задавать их в чат. Вот. Да, в принципе, все. Я не знаю уже, что можно рассказывать. Если будут еще какие-то вопросы, то, как я уже сказал, пишите в чат. Надеюсь, все там теперь есть. И давайте начнем. Окей, Mitch, I think our introduce part is да, yeah, sorry. Introduce part is finished, and we are welcome to, господи, to transfer word to you. Sorry for my English.
No, that's fine. Thanks so much, Yaroslav. It's wonderful to be with you here today. And you know, Yaroslav, when Artem and I were chatting earlier about the hackathon and that, I said, thank goodness I have to present in English and not in Russian because no one would understand me. So yeah, it's wonderful to be with you here. I just want to welcome all the participants, the organizers, everybody that's watching this. Just welcome to the Forward and the ITMO University Hackathon, the hacker's journey in learning how to create business templates. My name is Mitch Rankin. I'm the co-founder of Forward, and I'm based in Cape Town in South Africa, pretty much the same sort of time zone as everybody watching today. And we're really excited to be here with you and to go through this hackathon, to introduce Forward, to teach you how you can actually create market-ready templates and actually monetize them and create a business out of it. So the hackathon is an incredible opportunity for developers, entrepreneurs, for creative minds to dive right into the world of decentralized applications and then explore how they can solve real-world problems. And we're going to teach you how to do that through this hackathon. And right at the heart of what we're doing is Forward Factory. And as Артём was saying, it's a platform that's very similar to WordPress, but it's built for dApps. And I'll explain a little bit how that fits together and how you can understand it and get to use it. But what Forward Factory offers is a white label templates and no-code tool solutions that enables participants to create, to customize, and to deploy dApps effortlessly. And it's very similar to you going and creating a WordPress website and then using plugins and themes and templates to actually deploy it. So what really is Forward? What do we do at Forward? Forward is an AI-powered, no-code blockchain application development platform. And it's actually the first platform of its kind to offer market-ready, end-to-end, full-stack Web3 templates. And the whole idea of this is that they're fully customizable. They've got a UI, a very quick customizable builder for quick releases. And if you just wind back to why Key and I actually created this. Key is my co-founder. When we looked at the blockchain space a couple of years ago, it was really, really difficult for people to build things. It took a long time and it was very, very expensive. And so we came up with the idea of Forward and Forward Factory because of how it can actually help developers bring templates and build templates that are ready for the market. So the question that you as a developer should be asking yourself is, like, why should I actually be interested in this? And how could this impact the economy? So when we look at how the internet first developed and emerged, it created billion-dollar opportunities for many, many people in lots of different industries. And we can see the way Web3 is growing, that this is doing exactly the same today. So with Forward, this enables you as a developer to actually grab a part of this multi-billion-dollar pie. And we're going to teach you how to do that through this process. So firstly, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run through a basic overview and introduce what dApps are. I'm sure many of you know it, but just for the people that maybe aren't up to speed in understanding it, I'm just going to go through that with you and help you understand it. And then we'll get into the nitty-gritty about how Forward Factory works and how you're going to actually use it to deploy templates of your own. So decentralized applications, or dApps, are applications that run on a peer-to-peer network of computers instead of on a single computer. And the things that they provide are enhanced security, they provide transparency and immutability. So they can't be edited. And the way and what dApps are doing is they change the way that we actually interact with technology. Very similar to the way that apps on your smartphone actually transformed your phone and offered you much more control over your data and what you can do with your data. And then when we look at Forward and the no-code platform, and what it actually provides is that it's a very user-friendly approach that we use in Forward Factory. It's AI-powered to help you select and customize templates. And it provides a drag and drop no-code platform that allows a non-technical person to come and interact with Web3, with dApps, with blockchain. So if you're sitting watching this and you saying, like, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a marketing person, how do I actually get involved? I don't know how to code. You don't need to know how to code. So ultimately, what we're building here are templates that can easily be deployed where you can actually deploy your own dApps. And they're fully customizable, very much like you would customize a form, and we're going to teach you how to go through that. So the benefits of what Forward does and the partnerships that we have right across the Web3 space is it allows these dApps to be deployed on more than 800 blockchains. That means that when you deploy something, it gives you much more choice and flexibility, and it gives the person actually using it at the end of the day a lot more flexibility. So this can actually help users and developers find the best fit for their needs, whether they are prioritizing cost or they're prioritizing speed or any sort of other features. And the important thing about what Forward provides is that it's not just providing you the technology. Forward also focuses on building a supportive community and a marketplace. And this allows you to actually reach a market and get out to the market. And this includes spaces where people, developers, entrepreneurs can actually come together to buy and sell or trade their dApps and services. And the importance of this community is really in the innovation, and that we cannot stress enough. It's events exactly like this ITMO University Hackathon that are critical. They're crucial for actually getting feedback, for getting brand new ideas, for testing new ideas and possibilities, and for driving progress through this process. I'd just like to take a minute to maybe explain to you the difference between what a dApp is and what a dApp template is. And then we'll go over what a dApp is and see how it fits together. So let's just rewind slightly. Remember that a dApp is a decentralized application that runs on blockchain, which ensures transparency without a central authority controlling it. Now let's look at what a dApp template is. So a dApp template is a pre-designed framework or setup that can be used to create these applications without starting from scratch every time. And you can compare this to having a blueprint. And Forward actually provides a lot of these templates in Forward Factory, where a non-technical user can go into the marketplace and they can actually select a template. And this template can be fully customized by putting their branding. They can put videos in, they can add extra text, they can put images, they can name it, change the functions, and then actually deploy it. But by using the Forward Factory technology, it saves a huge amount of time and a huge amount of cost. You can literally go into the factory today, you can go and deploy a template, and 10 minutes later, you'll have a fully functioning dApp without knowing how to code or what have you. So the opportunity here is for developers learning how to do this process and provide a template that a market's going to come in and use. So let's just have a look at Forward Factory and why it's there and what you can do. Forward Factory is going to provide a template ultimately at the end of the day. But there are two sides to the factory. The one side is where a developer would come with an idea, they upload their code, and that code would be mapped, and all those tags will be mapped to a front end, and Hiko is going to go through the complexity and what you need to do and all the technology to explain that to you after I'm finished. And then once that's done, you are able to put that template in the marketplace, and a non-technical audience can come in and use that template. The other advantage you have is that if you develop a template that is really worthwhile for the market, you can actually put a price on that template. You can decide whether you want to have a one-time fee, an annual fee, a recurring fee. You can actually customize that template in exactly the way that you'd want. There are reviews and ratings on the templates, and we're going to encourage you to have the template audited, and we're going to guide you through this process over the next couple of weeks. So at the end of it, you're going to know exactly how to replicate this process. And when you come up with a brilliant idea for a template, whether it's in a month's time, in 6 months' time, in a year's time, and you want to utilize this template idea and you want to get it to the market, we're going to provide you the tools and the framework to actually get that done. And that's what we're doing here today, is we are teaching you how to utilize this framework, take shortcuts to actually get from your brilliant idea, your concept, to a usable template in the market that can be used by a much, much wider audience. As the blockchain adoption starts coming in and businesses start looking for opportunities to actually come in and utilize blockchain in a very, very easy, intuitive, user-friendly way. So how does this all fit together, and how should you be thinking? What we're going to do in this process, we are going to help you come up with a concept, an idea for a template, and then you're going to go through a process with a technical team where we're going to guide you through putting something together that is useful, and then ultimately creating a front-end template. What you should be thinking about through the process when you go through the ideas, and we're going to give you some template ideas to have a look at, some ideas that you can possibly customize, iterate on, make better, come up with your own ideas, and give you the flexibility of coming up with ideas that you've seen in the marketplace that could be relevant. the way you should be thinking about this is this something that's going to be applicable to the current market? Is this something that other people are going to want to use? Is the template that I'm designing simple enough for a person to come in without any technical knowledge and customize? And then the process we'll go through is in helping you bring your code, which is the back end, and creating a front-end template and putting those together. And that's the thought process, the process we're going to teach you as we go through the next couple of weeks. We've developed some tools, and we're going to help you with those tools. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen here, and let me just go through this here and run through some of the tools that we've got for you. For you here. Right, you should be able to see my screen. We've created a Git book. Артём, can you guys see my screen?
I can see your screen from my side.
Okay, great. Thanks, Hiko. Okay, so we've put this Git book together, and it's designed to help you learn the process and then follow the process through. And in this Git book, there's going to be a guide which will help you through the factory, through an orientation. It's something that you can actually come back to and refer to all the time, all through this process, alongside the opportunities where you're going to be talking to the team. They're going to be guiding and helping you. And you'll be able to go through this. I'll go through it very, very briefly just to show you. But basically, an introduction, there's an overview. It's what to build, what type of themes, the template ideas and categories, how to build, and then the project submission checklist. Hiko is going to go through this in a lot more detail once I've done, but let's just work through it together. This is going to show you what the factory is, what a template is, as we've spoken about. It's going to show you what to build, give you some template ideas, what sort of problems to solve, how you can solve them, and then a process of documentation on how to build. So the actual forward documentation, which you can go and have a look through. And there's a whole lot of stuff here that'll really help you just go through this process in a much, much easier way. So I'm going to encourage you, when we share these links with you, to actually go through this process, to go through the Git book, to go through each section in detail. If you've got any questions, we will be communicating with you. I think we're going to be setting up a Telegram group where you can ask questions and come back to us. After this session, if you do have any questions, I'll be around. And Артём and Yaroslav, please feel free to ask any questions that we can help with. But that really is just a basic introduction and an overview of what we're going to be doing through this process over the next couple of weeks. I'm really, really excited for you. I'm really excited to see what you're going to come with, the ideas that you're going to come with. We're interested to learn a bit more about you. Артём and Yaroslav have told us the huge amount of talent that is at ИТМО and the type of developers that are going to be participating in this. And we really are excited to just learn from you and to guide you through this process. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time, and we hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks as we guide you through this process in creating market-ready business templates in Forward Factory. Thanks very much. What I'm going to do now is just to introduce Hiko to you. He's on our technical team, and he's going to run through a basic overview of what you can expect from the factory, how you can use the factory, and what you should be thinking about from a technical overview. Артём, I'm going to hand back to you now anyway. If there's anything that you want to say before Hiko comes on, please feel free.
Okay, Mitch, thanks for introducing speech. We have several questions in our chat.
Yes, please, if you can ask the questions. I see there are some questions in Russian that I can't answer. You'll have to translate for me and go from there.
Yeah, sure. We already translated them, so I ask Yaroslav to send them in our chat. Ребят, у кого какие вопросы есть? У кого-то возникли вопросы, что ли было понятно, что непонятно, не стесняйтесь, спрашивайте, нет плохих вопросов, нет, есть незаданные. Да. Да. Now I'm gonna...
Okay, Mitch,
Yeah,
can you hear
yes.
me clear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, the first question is, what are the most common business cases for using dApp's templates for your platform?
Okay, that's a great question. We're going to be going through those in detail. So Hiko is going to help you with that. But what I'd like you to think about is where we are in the current cycle and what would be relevant to business right now. So if you think about where we are in the Web3 cycle, a lot of the applications are within the Web3 space, and those are relevant to what we're doing within the actual space. There's more and more people coming into the space that want to use it. And I'll give you a very basic example. So when you go into the marketplace and you look at the templates that we've got there, the one template we've got is a meme coin template. We all know what's happened with memes on Solana and how the value of Solana has gone up just by participation in that one template. So if you have a look at the template that we've got in Forward Factory, you can actually deploy your own template. And that would be relevant to people, whether they are developers or not. So we could take that and give it to many people in the Web3 space. We could give it to influencers. We could give it to businesses that wanted to deploy their own meme coin. And they could actually go in there and very, very simply, very easily, they could go through the process of deploying that template. So that template would be a very applicable market template. What other templates could be good in this space? If you think about what people like to do in the Web3 space, like games and betting are big areas of interest in certain parts of the world within the Web3 space. So those might be very applicable templates. What is another template? An airdrop template could be a very applicable template. So even though I'm going over this very, very quickly, Hiko is going to go over this in detail and help you go through this process. And then remember, we've got our first masterclass, which is going to help you think about this in a lot more detail. And my co-founder, Key, is going to be explaining how you're going to think about this in the context of the market, what could be applicable, how you could put it together, and what would be a valuable use of your time in developing a template that would be ready for the market. So those are the kind of ideas that you can think about, and we're going to help you in much more detail, hands-on. And remember, when you actually pick a template, we're not going to just say, listen, take a template and go. We're going to help you with that idea. We're going to work on it together to figure out, is this something that you should be putting effort into? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we want you to come up with something that's useful. Does that make sense?
The next one.
Okay, thank you so much. The next question is, I am a developer, and what can I do with my template, and what rights do I have?
Okay, another good question. So remember that Forward Factory is a platform that allows you to bring your idea and sell it in a marketplace. And you have the flexibility of selling that template for whatever price you like. What Forward charges is a flat fee in the Forward Factory of 20%, and that allows you to sell the template at whatever price you like. So for example, if you were selling a template for $100, Forward just take a fee on actually distributing that template for you. But that template is essentially your template. We just share in the revenue in actually putting it out to the market for you. Obviously, in the marketing of that template, you might like to bring in outside parties to help you. So you might say, okay, I'm selling a template for $100. Forward is taking $20 and I'm keeping $80. But I need to market this template. So I'd like to actually find an influencer, or I'd like to find another company and organization that can actually help me, and I'll share my revenue with that company and get it to market. And that's the right way to think. Remember, what we're doing here is we are teaching you how to build a business, how to create a passive income, how to put something in the marketplace that can be used over and over and over, many, many times by many different companies. And the way we do that is by helping you with these ideas. It's by helping you saying, right, you're a developer, but developing is one thing. How do we get it to a market? How do we take it to the market? And then when it's in the marketplace and it's ready for the market, how do we actually expose it and advertise it so that different communities can actually come in and use what you've got and you can make more money? And that's the way to think about this. The second part of your question is in the rights that you have, like who actually owns the template. The template actually sits within your portal and it can be edited and upgraded, and you control that side of it. So if you decided not to continue that template or not to support the template wouldn't be of any use to anybody in the marketplace. And then that template would be of no use at all. So the idea and the thing that you need to be thinking about is you're in control here. You're creating something that gives you the ability to sell something. And if you're going to sell it and you're going to support it and upgrade it, make sure that the audits are done, make sure that it's getting good reviews, good ratings, interacting with the people that are asking you questions about your template. You've got a very good chance of actually selling a lot of templates and making a lot of money out of it. And that's how I'd be thinking about these templates.
Okay, thank you so much. The next question is, what stack is used for the front end and is it limited?
Okay, Hiko is going to be covering that in a lot more detail when we finished with this part of it. And he'll be going through the technicalities of what you need to do, the type of tools you need to have, what sort of environment you need to put together. And by the end of that, you'll have a full idea of what is expected.
Okay, thanks. And the last question is, who is the target audience for templates?
Okay, so let's give you a couple of examples of the way we think about it and what could happen now. So for example, if you look at the meme coin template, who would be the target audience for that? That would be anybody that wants to deploy a meme coin. And that could be an influencer, it could be someone deploying it for their community, it could be someone deploying it for a school project, it could be you just deploying it for fun, for your social group, for your soccer club, whatever it is. It depends on how you think about it. That's the one side. If you think about, let's just think about business like outside of Web3 and the possibilities of what could happen. So let's just think about a real estate agency. How could they benefit from utilizing blockchain? So for example, we could have a real estate agency that has a lot of agents and they all work on selling a particular building and a commission is earned for selling that building. But certain agents do more work, certain are in the admin, some are taking the clients. And maybe that commission needs to be weighted. So you could have a commission splitting contract where you put in the parameters and when the commission is released from escrow and comes into that contract, it basically distributes that commission along pre-agreed parameters to each of those agents that are involved. So that is a different way of looking at a template, is who would be the market for that? Every real estate agents that has agents that, every real estate agency that has different agents that actually work on selling properties together. So that's a massive market. And somebody might come up with an idea that is super simple, very easy to use, that an agency would say, wow, this is something I want to use. So those are the type of ideas that I'd be thinking about when you're thinking about the market, but they really are diverse. Remember, we're going to give you a few ideas. We're going to help you in the masterclass think about the market, how you would think about it. If I could give you a word of advice, it would be to start simply. Don't try and overcomplicate an idea. Try and come up with something very, very simple that is easily adoptable and easily used. Because remember, what we're doing in this process is it's actually you learning how to use this platform so that you can build templates over and over and over again, because there's no limit to the amount of templates you can actually have sitting in the marketplace. And the more templates you have there, the more opportunity you have to make revenue. So that'd be our one word of advice. Keep it simple. Utilize the tech team to help you think through the ideas and to craft something that is good. Keep your code clean and uncomplicated, and then put a template together that's very easy to deploy and use. And we'll help you through that process, because then you've got a very good chance of the market using it. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, Mitch, thank you so much. Any questions, guys? No? So, Mitch, I suggest to make a small break before Case speech, maybe
Yeah.
2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem at all. That'll be good. We'll be here when you're ready to come back, but enjoy your break and really nice chatting. Thanks a lot, Артём.
Yeah, thank you very much again. So, yeah, close.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna meet a little bit later in chats. So, так, сориентируй дальше нас по программе. У нас сейчас да, дальше по программе у нас перерыв на 10 минут, потом мы возвращаемся, и будет интересная лекция, как раз, наверное, то, с чего начать, как найти успешную идею, да. То есть то, что сказал Мич про то, что идея темплейта — это база, да, то есть создать какую-то бизнес-идею, сформулировать ее — это основа. И про то, как найти успешную идею на рынке Web3 и в целом для бизнеса Web2, который мы хотим привести в Web3, расскажет второй фаундер проекта, человек с таким очень уникальным и разносторонним опытом именно в сфере блокчейна на мировом рынке. Это сооснователь Корника. Он расскажет об этом чуть позже, как раз после перерыва. Поэтому предлагаю всем почувствовать себя свободно 10 минут, а потом вернуться на лекцию. Так, меня слышно? Hello, Hiko. Are you ready to start?
Hello. Hi. Yes, I am. Let me actually share my screen here to get everything going.
Nice. So let me introduce you in Russian to our hackers. Да, это будет вторая часть, которую расскажет Кей, а Хику расскажет про, по-моему, что-то такое, что walk-through forward. То есть он расскажет про платформу, вообще мы части это проговорили, но сейчас будет более подробно, то есть как это работает и как вы эту механику можете использовать для себя в процессе хакатона. So, Hiko, I'm transfer word to you. You can start. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi all. Happy to be here. Thanks for the intro, Yaroslav. As just mentioned, I'm Iko, the partnership manager at Forward, and it's my pleasure to actually demonstrate a bit of the inner workings of the Forward factory and how you all can use it. I hope you guys are excited as we are to get started. So let's jump right into it. So as you can see, we are on the Forward login page, where the first steps would actually be to go and register, add your name, last name, email, and password. And also don't forget to tick the I'm a developer box here to ensure that you have access to all the features. I've already done that, so I will just go and log in. So this is the marketplace as the landing page. In here, I will start by showing all the sections that we have, and then I will show a little bit about the deployer flow, the non-technical users which are building dApp templates, which you are building the dApp templates for in this hackathon. And then the second flow, which is the developer flow. That's the process that you and your team will be following during the hackathon, building these templates. So just to get started, we have the marketplace, as you can see here, where we have categories where you can filter through the categories or do a keyword search. As you can see, we only have, 2, 4, 6, 9 templates here at the moment, but we are still busy migrating from our version 3 into version 4. About 30 plus templates is also ready to be used, but after it has been integrated or migrated. Then explaining a little bit more about the My Applications. This is the area for the end users or whoever actually deploys a dApp. They will have the applications here where they can use it and actually go to the admin panel. Then we also have the My Template section, where this is where your templates would be located, the templates that you are building. Then going further, we have the search option for the marketplace, and then the dark mode theme, which I think I'll just keep on further from here. Then we also have a user account info where where your name and email address will be captured as you register. And then you can also change your password here and select which wallet is your default wallet. Then you can also add your crypto bio, your description, and add some tags. You can also add additional links to your social profiles or your own website. It will also show you your uploaded contracts and your deployed contracts. So that's just a little bit about the sections in Forward. So I heard Mitch speaking earlier about the meme token. So I'll just quickly show a little bit about this. But for demonstration purposes, I will do a Dutch auction demonstration. So this is the actual dApp template page with the description. I don't actually want to explain too much here. I actually just want to show you guys a little bit of how this meme template's looking or what we have built for non-technical users actually to come and customize and deploy. So as you can see, they will be able to add any text here, change the colors, add their own socials. There's even an FAQ section for the token, and you can also add your socials here. So yeah, that's just a little bit about the meme token, but for today's demonstration, I'll be showing the Dutch auction and what we've actually built here. This is our newest template that's made it to the marketplace. So this is also similar to what you guys will be building and explaining or showing the deployment process to the end users. So this is a completed dApp that is ready to be used in the marketplace now. And as you can see, I can also do a preview of this and just show you how this looks before deployment. So this is where you can actually check and see if this is what you want, if this is what you would like to deploy. So this is just the base template without being deployed and just the front end. So I'll close that and then go back to the actual dApp description and deployment description. So a Dutch auction is just, in essence, a reverse auction where you start with a high price and then in time increments, the price decreases. Then we'll also explaining in here the step-by-steps of how to use it. As in the first step is that you must be the NFT owner to actually deploy this to be able to sell your NFT through the Dutch auction. Then we also have some the setups for the constructor when you are deploying it, which we'll also go into detail a bit later. I just want to give a little bit of an overview where you would add the NFT contract address, the NFT contract address that you own, and then the NFT ID. You also have the chance, or you also have the selection of choosing to get paid in native token, as in the gas token of that blockchain, or you can add a USDT or USDC or any stable coins, or in fact any other token that you would like to be paid in. You are able to add that contract address. Then we would also need to put in the starting price for the NFT and the rate of discount for the duration of the Dutch auction, and then the actual full Dutch auction duration. One of the most important things here is actually to decide which type of currency you would like to receive as payment. Then moving on to the third step, after the auction is all set up, there are two main areas that you are able to interact with it. It is the admin panel that is specifically for the deployer, the person deploying this, and then the seller for you, the deployer, which is actually the seller. You'll also need to approve the auction to allow the NFT transfer to take place once it has been bought. And there's also an option to cancel if you need to cancel if you perhaps have made a mistake. And then the front end page is where buyers would go and actually see the auction happening and decide if they would like to buy or not. And then as the seller, you will receive the payment in the form of the currency that you've chosen. And that's pretty much the whole process. At the bottom, we explain a little bit more about Way, but I'll also get a little bit more into that as we go through this deployment process. In here, you are also able to see what functions are in this Dutch auction, or in the smart contract, actually. And as you can see at the bottom, there's a little bit of a review of how you experience the deployment process. And on the right-hand side here, we have a bit more of the metadata of how many deployments, the last time it was deployed, or what smart contract language was used, and then the creator, with also the fee structure that you are able to choose as the developer. There's also a rating for this template. So next I'll go to deploy, where we will go into customizing the template. As you can see, this is the no-code builder, where you can customize anything within this template. So for now, for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to make it a Dino Dutch auction, because I've got a picture of a dinosaur, which I'll show you shortly as we deploy. Then you can also set the responsiveness to check that everything's working nicely in different screen sizes. There you can see it's horizontal view, or maybe a iPad view, tablet view, and then we also have for a smartphone, the view that would be displayed on the smartphone. Then I'll just go back to the big screen. We also have this tool to actually show all of the components. Then you can also decide if you just want to see a preview of it without having the tool display. Then we also have, you can also go into full screen mode to actually get a bigger picture of how to customize and what you would like to do. There's also a code section of all the code that is within this template. I would also suggest for you to come and check through this code, because you can also learn a lot what previous developers have done writing JavaScript code into the HTML to get certain features working. Then there's the back and forward options as well. If you change something, we also have an import area to import some libraries. Then you could also clear the whole canvas. And here's actually the option to directly edit the code here. As you can see, I can just start typing and edit the code, and it will be displayed in the boulder. Then one of our new features is the magic interface design, which we have incorporated AI to help you actually build this. The front end would be, yeah, you guys are open to go and test around and play around with this to see how this actually works. Then on the side here, we have the actual building components where you can add different classes. You can change the display type, floats, positioning, the actual direct positioning in this on the page, dimensions, topography, decorations where you could change colors, and then some extra tools for opacity and transitioning and transforming if you would like to add features like that. And we also have the component settings area. I think, as you can see, this is jumping back. So I think as live demonstrations go, there must always be a bug. But yeah, I think that's not too bad. It will be sorted out soon. So as you can see there, that's the component settings. There you can see the different layers. And on this is all the different components that you can add. So actually, just as I'm picking up this slight bug, just something extra also, if you guys pick up any bugs, we also currently have a bug bounty contest where you could actually also win some prizes for submitting your bugs, and it is based on a point system. So that is something that you guys could also do while busy building your templates. So now, after I've shown all of that and I'm happy with my Dino Dutch auction front end, I would go ahead and actually go to the next step, which is customizing the contract and the inputs. So as a start here, we'll have an upload icon where I'll just go quickly into to my files here to get a Dutch auction icon. So I'll just add a little icon there. I'll make this the Dino Dutch auction as the name. And then this is my Dino Dutch auction dApp as a description. And then we also have a domain to deploy it. Let me just put it in that. So, sorry, I think something's coming through. Oh, no. Okay, so next we would go and configure our contract for the constructors, as I explained earlier, with the deployment process, which you also would need to do to explain to the users wanting to deploy this. So I would add my contract address. I already have that ready here, contract address, and then my ID for the NFT that I want to sell would be 888. And then here's one of the most important parts of actually selecting in what currency you would like to be paid. So for this demonstration, I will just add 0 so that I can get paid in the native gas currency of the chain I'm deploying on. Next thing would be is to put in an initial price, which is in Way. Just to explain a little bit more about Way, that is the smallest denomination of usually the gas currency on blockchains. So 5,000 Wei would be very small in Ether amounts that I'm trying to sell this NFT for, or the starting price, because this is just for demonstration purposes. So I will go back and I'll keep that at that number. Also, the end price of the NFT, where I want this Dutch auction to actually stop and not go lower. As you can see, it's also a very small amount. Then the duration we have to set in hours. So let's maybe just make it 5 hours. Then if I'm happy with that, I would then go next. And then we actually have the preview section of all the details that you filled in now to see that everything is correct and that you are happy with your inputs before actually going to the deployment process. Next, you will come to the deployment page where you are able to select the Forward wallet or Wallet Connect. For this instance, I'll be using Wallet Connect and my MetaMask wallet. So as I click on that, MetaMask asks me to connect my MetaMask. And now I will connect my MetaMask wallet. For this demonstration, I'm busy using the Binance Smart Chain testnet. So we will be deploying on Binance Smart Chain testnet. Just clicking to go through the deployment process. Confirm. And also something that I maybe didn't mention here now, but in here you can search for any of the 800 chains that Mitch has mentioned that is available to be deployed on through Forward. So just going through the deployment process now, contract has been deployed. So next we will be heading to my applications. And there is the current Dino Dutch auction that I have just deployed. As you can see, these are previous applications that I have deployed for similar testing processes. So to show a little bit of how this actually comes out, I will go to use to see the front end. Let's just wait for that to load. And then I have the admin panel that you as the developer would also code in here to show the user, the deployer, what they can do and what is available as an admin of this contract. So I will connect my wallet that I deployed it with, which has the NFT in as well. As you can see, here's it with the NFT image. I have some pop-ups here or some tooltips explaining what each of this is, like the contract address of the NFT being sold. That's the address that I added in there, the ID, the seller address. This is my wallet address, then the chain ID. Also have the address. This would be the address of the auction. And then the duration, as I set for 5 hours, 2 minutes has already elapsed. And then we also have a little progress bar showing how much time is left. So as I also explained in the description or the guide in the beginning, as the deployer, I now have the opportunity to approve or cancel the auction. But let's just first go to the front end. This is what the buyers of the NFT would see. So this is the domain that you would market to people to come and buy your NFT. It's all very similar to the admin panel. We designed it that way to keep a similar flow so the people can understand the front end and the admin panel. As you can see now, I can't click buy because as the instructions said, we first need to approve this NFT from the deployer side or the seller side. So just going through the approval process. So I'm approving this contract now that it is able to send or transfer the NFT when a buyer has bought it. So let's just, okay. And there the approval has gone through. As you can see, that button's grayed out. We can't use that anymore. So now I will go back to the front end and we are able to actually buy the NFT. So just to demonstrate a little bit from this buyer side, now I would just need to change my contract address to be able to buy it with a different with a different wallet, sorry, and getting the NFT transferred to that wallet. So for now, I will actually I can copy this, paste it in here. I can go buy now. And now I am buying this NFT as an end user, or as a person, yeah, that wants to buy the NFT, sorry. So there we go. I'm actually just confirmed the transaction, and we're just waiting for it to go through. Let's see how far it is. It's a little bit delay here, and there we go. So that NFT has actually been sold and transferred to that different wallet. So this is just demonstrating the process, what an end user would do with your template that you are building and how they would interact with it. So it's about creating or building a template that's very easily understandable for the end user to actually come and use. So as you can see, the NFT is already sold in my admin panel. So that's just a little demonstration about the end user and how they would actually deploy your template, the template that you guys are going to build during this hackathon. So the next flow that I will show you is the developer flow. This is the process that you and your team will be following to actually build these templates for the marketplace. So I would then go to my templates. And as you can see, I don't have any templates here yet, but I am wanting to upload my first contract and create my first template. So I'll, just for demonstration purposes, I've also just selected a very, very basic smart contract so that it isn't too involved or too difficult to explain. But I've just chosen to have a Ether wallet smart contract. I won't explain too much about everything. I'll just briefly go over it because I think more of this will be explained during the webinar where we show how to actually build some of these contracts. So this is just a easy or very small Ethereum wallet that contract that I have here, where you have the address of the owner as the variable when you construct or when you start, when you deploy the smart contract. The owner will actually be the deployer's address automatically. You also have the receive function so that it can receive Ethereum and tokens within here, or let's say a native gas currency. Then you also have a withdraw function where you would insert the amount you want to withdraw from your wallet, and then require. It also checks the requirement that you are the owner. The message sender is the owner as well. And then the last line here is payable from the message from the owner. The message sender will transfer that amount to their address. Then you also have a function here, a get balance function, which is external and just returns the balance of this wallet. So that's just a little bit of an overview on that. I will upload that contract, that contract in the builder, and then you will see it automatically picks up its Solidity. It's my Ether wallet .sol. My compiler I'm using is 0.8.23. The contract is the Ether wallet, and then here I would also need to add my address. I've got my address ready here, so I'll input that. I will save. Then the next step is actually the compilation, where the contract gets compiled, where it displays the ABI and the bytecode of this contract. There's not much to do here, but this could be very important for when you are adding custom functionality within the custom code editor. So I'll go save and go next. And now this is also a very important part, because here the contract or the forward builder has actually extracted the functions within this contract. Within that ABI, it is extracted each function, and we only have 3 functions there in this contract. It's the get balance function, the owner, which is a read function, also a read function, and then an actual writing function. And as you guys know, Read function is free to get called on the blockchain, but writing function changes the state. So you would need to pay some gas fees to actually call this function. So now the next step would be to actually elaborate a little bit more on what is get balance and what is owner and what is withdrawal, just to explain, just to create these components to understand easily what these functions are. So I've already added here get balance. This is get the current balance of the wallet. The owner, I've just made this is the owner's address. And then withdraw, this is to withdraw funds from the wallet. So then I'll go save to go on to the next step where I actually get to the builder, and I am now able to drag and drop those functions and different components into this builder. I will just go here and select web page. I won't explain too much about that. I'll just leave those sections as is. So now I will have the opportunity to create my front end and the back end. But let's start with the front end. And for this demonstration, I will just make it very easy, just very easy where I'll drag in a nav bar, and I'll actually come to the components, and at the bottom, so let me explain maybe a little bit here are all the components where I can add in different columns, and then within that column, I could perhaps add some text there. I'll just maybe say Ether wallet. And I would also like to get that in the center. Then I can come down to the building blocks. As you can see, there's a few other building blocks here where you can actually add images or videos or maps or links. There's a countdown timer and the nav bar that I've already dragged in. And then here we actually have the contract interactions. Those functions that we previously mapped in the previous section will all be displayed in this contract interaction. And this is actually where the magic is of extracting the functions out of the ABI and actually creating a component for you to just drag and drop it into your template. So for now, I will just add in get the current balance of this wallet, and then the withdraw function. I won't be customizing this too much, but I'm just showing you that this is just easily to drag in, and here I am able to move around this. I can even remove it from the drop down. So this is very customizable in essence. So after I'm happy with this little basic front end I've built for the template, and I'm happy how it looks for now, I will save that as the front end, and now it will request me to start building the back end, which is in essence the admin panel. So I think I will just come here and maybe, or just add the admin panel there, maybe make a few adjustments, as in I'll make the background color but different. Yeah, please don't judge me on my design skills for now. This is just for this demonstration. So then we will also have the opportunity, I'll also just changing the size of the admin panel. And then as a last little function for the admin panel, I'm putting in the owner's address, which is then the same as the previous, where you can also change and edit and customize this as you would like for the deployer to actually interact with this. So then I'm happy with my admin panel. I will go on to save. And then now I am able to select my icon that I want it displayed as in the marketplace for other people to come and actually use. I will just use this little ETH icon. Then you also have the option to choose your fee structure with a one-time deployment fee, a monthly fixed price, yearly fixed price, or you can even have a flat fee of percentage transactions going through your dApp. But for this demonstration, I will just make it easy and go to free to use. There's also a plugin that I will not be using in this demonstration, but you guys might be able to play around with. And we also have the option to check if you want to deploy this for testing. I'll also leave that empty now, and I'll just give a description. This is my Ether wallet. Then we also have you also have the opportunity to upload your audit report or link it. This is also it would also be great if you could audit your contracts. There are also AI auditors out there just to catch some critical security vulnerabilities. The AI auditors are nice to catch that, but it was always better to have a fully audited contract to display that to the users in the marketplace so that they feel they can trust your contract if it has been audited. Then for categories, I will just make this a token category, and I will make this a ERC20. ERC20 is just a Ethereum EIP standard for fungible tokens. Next, I will go to publish, and I will release that to the marketplace. Just waiting, and there we go. It has been released to the marketplace. As you can see, my Ether wallet is here with my nice icon. I've left everything for free at the moment. So then the next step would actually be, as I explained earlier, with the deployer flow. So this is the template that you would market as a developer for end users to actually come and use. So they would then come through the same process as we did earlier, where they would click on your template. They would get your full description of what is in here, how to deploy it. A guide, a video guide would also be great of showing the deployer what they can and can't do with this template. Also, again, the functions, and you also have some reviews. As you can see, nobody has reviewed this yet. Then exactly the same as earlier, we would go through the full process where this is what I've just built. Now I could actually go as a deployer, go and maybe change the colors here. I want maybe the background color also to be dark. And then if the deployer likes that, they would go to the next step and actually customize the admin panel. And then as a next step, they would also then have the opportunity to actually add the icon, add the application name and description with the subdomain where they will deploy. I don't think I need to go further with this, as I've already explained this whole process earlier. So yes, that is the functionality of the Forward Factory. I hope this has helped you a bit understand what we have built and how easy it is actually to use and creating these templates. Thank you for your time, and thank you for allowing me to demonstrate this. Have a good day, and hope you guys are ready to start building. Thanks.
Thank you, Heiko. Any questions? Yeah, we have a question.
Hi, Heiko. Thanks you for your presentation. My question is about your dApp. You call dApp the application where we can interact with only one smart contract, yeah?
So within this, let me actually maybe go and show there. Within this, the dApp that you want to deploy, you can actually, this smart contract doesn't need to be one smart contract, but it could actually be a flattened smart contract with imports such as the ERC20 interface or NFT interface. So this doesn't need to be just one smart contract as I showed, but you could actually go and use, let's say, Open Zeppelin's wizard and use some of their contracts to import in your contract to build as a base, and then build further an extra functionality of that, of those imported contracts. And then the only thing you would need to do there is actually flatten it. I could maybe even, let's see if I still have my previous remix contracts here, perhaps. Or I could maybe just show how here I had my token template that I just quickly tested here. So in Remix, where I'm importing all of these contracts that are available on Open Zeppelin, which I can then additionally add my functionality. As you can see, I've already started with, I have a minting function and the constructor. So what I would do then next is I would actually flatten this contract in in Remix so that it gives me this full code. So as you can see here, now the code is a lot longer, but this is actually the full contract, which you would then copy and paste this into your Solidity file and then upload that into the builder to actually extract all of these functions, as I can quickly show you here. If I deploy it, let me just put in an initial owner here. So all of these functions that is in this contract will actually be extracted and be able and will be usable as components, drag and drop components within the factory. Does that answer your question?
Okay, thanks. And I have another question about front end. In the front end, we can add some functions from contract, and can we create a bottom, maybe like in Uniswap, like in PancakeSwap, like bottom named swap or bottom approve to interact with contract?
Yes, 100% you can. And that is where I would actually suggest, which is nice. So if you're still new to developing smart contracts, or as you're asking now with the front end, and new to developing this, I would suggest to come and check the current templates we have and check the custom code in here, because as you'll see here at the bottom, we are actually importing that ABI and then creating those functions and functionality. It's like, as I can show you, there is the ABI of this Dutch auction contract and what they want to use. And then here they actually create the interaction with that button. So yes, it's very much customizable. If you know JavaScript, you can build almost anything on here.
Yeah, thanks. Because I answer my question is because I think for simple user it's not useful to see the contract function, because user don't know a lot about UINT, way, and some these blockchain terms. Thanks.
Yeah, no, great question. And also just adding there, so what we also would advise is, as you see these building these templates, the front end, like here just says type, but nobody, as you explained now, nobody actually knows what type means. So we would add a little tooltip explaining to them what is this. Like this type would be the cryptocurrency that is accepted for the purchase of this NFT. So we try to make it as easy as possible, or give as much information and descriptive information for the deployer to actually understand what these different functions or what these different meanings are.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks a lot, Heiko. And any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, the next question is about source code. Can I host my source code on my site, on my server?
You have the option. You also would have the option at the moment. I think it's turned off, but you would also have the option to actually deploy to your own domain and not just the forward factory domain. Does that answer your question, or could you maybe elaborate a little bit more of the source code? And yeah, if that doesn't answer your question.
Okay, thank you. And I think the last question is about your support of your platform of blockchains. Do you support only EVM blockchains, or maybe some others too?
Yeah, good question. That at the moment, the 800 blockchains are EVM based, but we are busy integrating Solana. We're busy integrating Solana and Haskell with Cardano and a few other chains also. So we will have the option. We also have cross converters for different languages that people build smart contracts in. So Solidity, as a start, we have Solidity now, but that would progress further to maybe add Rust Rust Solidity code or Python Solidity code. But yes, we are busy integrating things like Solana and Cardano and other different chains.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think that's all at the moment about questions. So Heiko, thanks again. Close, please.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Так, сейчас у нас ориентир в программе. Дальше у нас идет, наверное, самая интересная сегодняшняя часть. У нас ее представит один из сооснователей проекта. Она называется High Level Business Idea Formation. Мы рассмотрим, как создавать вообще бизнес-идею темплейта, dApp'а. И я рекомендую здесь максимально увлекаться вопросами, да, потому что, на мой взгляд, это самая интересная часть. Во-первых, потому что я сам бизнес-аналитик базово по своей работе. Мне это наиболее понятно, и вообще с этого стартуем, да, то есть чтобы нам не потратить время условно зря на какую-то идею, которая не выстрелит, здесь прямо нужно наиболее серьезно подойти к этому вопросу. И следующий спикер, Кей, он представится, мистер Кей, наиболее, наверное, погружен в эту тему из всей команды, как мне кажется. Соответственно, я передаю ему... Hello, Kay. How are you?
Hello, hello. I'm very good. It's amazing to be here, to talking to everyone here. Super excited. So when I look at this whole industry of Web3, the biggest challenge that I notice is that things are not usable. The usability of something changes the value that it can hold and the impact it can create. We all talk about blockchain and how amazing it is and the impact it can create. But unless until we make a blockchain use cases that are valuable for the people out there, we're going to miss out on all the amazing benefits it can provide. So with that in mind, when we are focused on this hackathon and the ecosystem of Forward, we want to make sure that people coming to Forward Factory to utilize all these different use cases, they are able to understand immediately the benefit of the product that we offer, and they can connect the dots in their mind of how that can benefit them. Everyone's question is, what is in it for me? And that needs to be answered evidently from the first moment that they start looking into the product. So when we talk about creating a business idea for a Forward Factory, we need to think about the angle of approach. What is the problem that this product is solving? And who is that solving for? So you could be solving something for a Web2 crowd, the traditional people out there, or you could be solving a Web3 problem that the crypto audience are facing. And the moment you identified what that problem is and for who, you need to understand the competition. If you don't understand the competition and if you don't understand the specific place this product of yours has, it gets harder to communicate that to the user end of the day. So what is the specific challenge that your product is trying to solve, and how is it becoming better than the competition? How is it becoming better than any other existing tools in the space that is trying to address the same problem? And the most important part here is to connect that benefit in your message, not only in the product, in your features, but also in how you mention that information when you create that page out there, because people don't have the same ideas that you have. It is important to explain that, put all of those things in words for them, because that's when they understand that they could use something that you created in more than one ways. So those are some of the things that we will deep dive as we progress in different other master classes. We will definitely look into how we present an information and what that information means to them. But at this business idea stage, what you need to keep in mind is to think about things that are useful for a specific audience with a specific use case, and something that is helping them understand that use case in the first place. Because the Web3 and the blockchain as an industry is in a very early stage. It's so early that people don't even connect the dots. When you say Bitcoin, they understand Bitcoin as a trading tool. They don't know how Bitcoin is great and why it's better, how it helps them, and what value it's serving. And that's the part that we need to play an important role in, to explain to them how something can be used, and for you to also understand how that is better than a Web2 solution or a Web3 solution that is already existing in the market. If that product market fit doesn't exist, it becomes very, very challenging for them to use it in any reasonable manner. The product market fit in the Web3 space is 10 times harder than in the Web2, because there you have a structured market, you have a structured user acquisition models and all of that. But in the Web3 space, there's a huge gap. So those are some of the important considerations I would definitely think about when I'm looking at a product, evaluating a product, and putting it live. The end goal on the biggest vision that Forward has is simplicity. Think simple, make things easier, and make things accessible to them end of the day. And if something is not simple, people are going to ignore it. People are not going to be able to use it. So every options that you create, every features that you create, think about the opportunity and the simplicity there. One more important aspect is the robustness. How do you build some product that is robust for more use cases within? So when you think about a business idea, think about it from an abstract angle. So you're creating a product that will be used by hundreds and thousands of people for their own use cases. What can you do to bring it to an abstract level where those use cases can customize it for their particular requirements? So it's not like creating a particular flavor of an ice cream, but creating that vanilla version with the ability to move between all the different other flavors. That ability to move, the agility and the customization that you provide there is going to be key for more people to use, because you're creating a product once and you're going to be charging people for every time they use it, for every time they start customizing and deploying it. So the more wider audience you cater to, the more profitable this product is going to be end of the day for you. So those are the robustness and the ability to customize is a key factor to keep in mind. I would definitely think about WordPress whenever I talk about it, because WordPress is the perfect example for how robust and customizable the product is. People could change it and modify it for thousands and thousands of different types of businesses, industries, regions, and even business models. And if that can be done with a product, and that's going to make it very much in demand and people can go crazy about it. So think about features that you would add, think about ability to customize that you would add, ability for people to switch on and switch off the feature, for them to change the values of what it means. All of those are key factors that expand on the product's wider user base. More users, the better the benefit. The more users, the more the revenues you as a developer can have in this process. So before, I'll just give a pause here. I would be happy to take on some questions and etc. So we can clarify more, but we would be diving on each of those as we progress to break it down into smaller parts to make sure that you're crossing those stages effectively. But I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, Kay, thanks for your motivation speech. So tell me, please, what trends in the crypto markets do you see now? And Mitch, tell us about meme coins. We see the meme coins template, and maybe you have another variants, another vision on the market.
There are a lot of different trends that are hot from things like DeepIns, real world assets, DeFi, and many more. But I think the focus should be more on not only what is hot as a trend, but think about where the problem lies. So when you look at all of these projects that are coming in each of those segments, they all have an underlying problem. And that underlying problem represents the opportunity here for us. So if someone is building a DeepIn solution, they're not going to be coming to Forward to build it. They would just go and hire developers and build something custom made. But then they would have a problem when they're trying to work on the ancillary areas around their business. And that represents a bigger opportunity for us because that is a replicatable model. So I would not just look at the trends. I would look at the underlying problem the trend creates and the opportunity that comes along with that. So when we look at things with all the Web3 blockchain projects out there, I see that they are all struggling with areas about the community, engaging the community, which is a gamification parts. Anything that you would do to create a utility for the token, to gamify the token, for users of those communities to use the token, those are amazing. Things that deal with airdrops, because a lot of them are doing it. What does that, if there's a solution that they could use towards that, that is fantastic. So I would be always keen at not only the trends, but underlying factors that are connected to the trends that become valuable and that becomes ignored, but that is also usually replicated a lot. So replication is a key factor why people come to factory, because in Forward Factory, they can click, customize, deploy something that's replicatable, not necessarily something that is innovative. The reason meme coins are a great example is because all the meme coins differ in their designs and how the message and the content is, but then the technological foundation of a meme coin is exactly the same. The same goes for airdrops, the same goes for betting platforms and all of those. The technology behind is 100% the same. The customization is limited, maybe 10, 20% is customized, but then the foundations are same. So that is a place where there's a huge opportunity to monetize on. But in terms of the trends, as you know, the DeFi, DePINs, RWAs are all amazing at this point in time. Layer 1, Layer 2, revolving applications are great as well, and so on.
Okay, thanks. And if I create a big smart contract about concentration liquidity pools, it's interesting to forward or interesting to forward user to use this template, or we talk about simple contracts like memcoin, like NFT mint, and others.
When you talk about, let's say, concentrated liquidity solutions, I think the question goes back to who would want to use it and how would you pitch it, right? So it's not just the product, it's about how you sell something. So if you can explain that to them and how on different ways they can use it, anything is useful. Because think about the flow in Forward Factory. Users come in and they try to look at all the templates, choose the template that makes sense for them. So how you explain there, the title and the description, that changes it. They're not going to understand what a concentrated liquidity is. But if you can phrase it from an use case standpoint, that will attract. So it's not about what users want. It's about what you want for the users to see and use it in different ways. And there are influencers, key opinion leaders in the space who will be promoting some of these templates as well. So they can take it to a much wider audience out there. It's all back to messaging, and we will work with you guys on the messaging in the last part of the journey, but make sure that the business ideas, areas of identification is related to a bigger market. So don't be concerned about whether the Forward Factory users currently can use it. Think about how you can present that as a value for them to use it. Because the responsibility here lies on your side on when you create a product on the how you present the usability, not users understanding the current point in time.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for your answering.
Yes, okay, I have a question. We talked about Web3 sector, Web3 sphere, how to find an idea over there. I have a question, how you can advise to find an idea of Web2 to Web3 sector in traditional business, maybe in IT sector, so in Web2.
I think that goes back to problem identification. So for example, even in the Web2 or Web3 space, one of the biggest challenges that people have is things like escrow solutions, which is a very simple contract that's available out there for escrows, and you can do that pretty fast. But the challenge is that in Web3, people can use that escrow because they're using crypto tokens, but in Web2, they'll have a challenge using it. So it's also a matter of looking at the implementation within their limitations of what they currently have and how they can use it. So you will have to look at thinking about it more from the user experience parts. because if it's a matter of, let's say, reward points, it's very easy for Web3, Web2 audience to use that right now with a simple app. If you remove away, bring in the meta transactions and remove away the wallet creation process, anybody can use it. So there are some of those use cases purely by removing the wallet, using some existing let's say account abstraction based solutions or Bentley based solutions to make that process easier for them. But beyond that, it is that user experience that would be a major choice maker for a Web2 audience. Whereas in the Web3, that is not as hard. But any Web2 to Web3 solution should consider that quite a bit. So it all goes back to thinking about the existing Web2 products and where the problem is coming in terms of the fees, in terms of accessibility, and how Web3 solutions can use it. We always spoke about how Web3 is better and it's great solution for the global problems. But this is the time to think about those exact same use cases and see how we can replicate with an Web3 usable product that can solve that in the simplest form possible. The solution doesn't have to be simple. It just needs to be presented in a simple manner. That's a key point. But that also goes back to the previous question the previous member had. Do we need to create simple contracts? The answer is not about creating simple contracts. It's about presenting the contracts in a simple way. It's about making that user journey simple, but not creating something simple as a mandate.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So we finished with questions, I suppose. Yep. So have you finished your speech, Kay?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Thank you for all the questions that you guys had. What I really want to bring back and explain again is that let's go back to the first principles approach. Let's go back to thinking the basics. All the reason we have blockchain here is to solve the real world problems that people have in a simple way, not to complicate their life, not to make their life harder. Focus on that simplicity and user experience. Think about the problems, think about solutions blockchain can offer, and look at the competition, compare how can this product be better, make sure that it's usable by a wider audience in an affordable manner. If that is done, and if a business idea can tick all those boxes, you have an amazing product out there which can be used by hundreds and thousands of people, and that can be an amazing passive income and a recurring revenue for the developer. And I'm super excited to see amazing things coming out of this hackathon here.
Yeah, great words. Thanks. So yeah, close, please. And okay, I want to ask you to make a photo. Can you please pause a moment? We stay under your picture and make a photo.
Okay.
Давайте встанем, сфоткаемся, пока у нас едет пицца, и у нас сейчас будет как раз пицца. Mitch, if you're here, can you please also join us?
Hey guys, sorry, can you hear me? A question.
I can hear you, yes.
Yeah, great, thank you. The question is about the security of the application.
Yeah, we are ready to make a photo. So a moment.
Sure.
So thanks. Okay, done. Thank you very much. So we are now going to pizza party. So thanks again to Mitch, to Heiko, to Kay. We are ready to join on this Tuesday on online masterclass. So see you there. Thank you.
Thanks, Key. Thanks, Artem. Appreciate it, man. Been a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, I'd still like to ask a question about the security. Or am I too late with that?
Sorry, it's I was just going off and I heard somebody said they had a question.
Yeah, sorry.
Sure.
I was testing something on your platform and I couldn't really ask it earlier. So
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. When I saw what's kind of going on here on the platform, my first thought was like, how can I break it? Because it feels like there's a lot of places where anything can go wrong and some malicious kind of developer can inject something bad. And let me just share my screen real quick. Hopefully you're not going to sue me for that.
No problem.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. I'll just
yeah. So this is the your front end. Hopefully you can see that.
Yeah.
And I went and made this example here real quick. So what's going on here is some bad code that I injected into the template. So when someone clicks on the deploy button, there's this alert with the user's API key of the platform. So that can be then later sent to some malicious backend and stored. And this API key can essentially grant the full access to the user's account, which just pressed this button. So that's what I found so far. And I think I can even make it a bit easier for someone to trigger this exploit. So there's this iframe embed here that is automatically fetching the website. So